Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be playing Hyperstar Run. This is a Kickstarter preview of a new Button Shy game coming in January of 2025. So grab your controller, load the last save state, press the start button, and let's get rolling. Alright, so I am set up to talk about Hyperstar Run. As I mentioned, this is a game that's going to Kickstarter in January of 2025. That Kickstarter campaign will go live on January 7th. So if this is something you're interested in, there is a link in the description. And I suppose I should point out as well, if you're watching this in the distant future and you've missed the Kickstarter campaign for this game, these Button Shy games are typically available later on their website. If you go to Button Shy's official website, you can typically purchase these games, or if they have future Kickstarters, which they do generally once a month, oftentimes you can purchase previous games from their catalog as well. And I want to point out that this was a preview copy given to me by Button Shy Games, so some of the things you see might be subject to change. And if you have any questions about how relationships with publishing companies work for these preview copies, there's also a link in the description of that. You can just go to my website. It's tablefor1.games, and there's a section for publishers, and everything is spelled out so you can see exactly what that agreement looks like. And then finally, you may have noticed this Table for One neoprene playmat that I've got here, which is perfect for Button Shy games, specifically these 18 card games. That's available for purchase below if you like. I'll talk more about merchandise in my upcoming channel update, which will be the first week of January of 2025. I do a channel update twice a year, first week of January and first week of July, just to talk about stuff outside of specifically playing and talking about games. So you can look forward to that. But on to the main content. I'm going to split this video into two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about what this game is and how to play. And then the second half will be a solo playthrough of Hyperstar Run, and I'll conclude that with my final thoughts. So let's talk about this game. This is the next game in Button Shy's Simply Solo series. So these are the games by Scott Almes that include some of my favorites from Button Shy, like The Last Lighthouse. A Nice Cuppa was fantastic. I really like that one. Ugly Griffin Inn, Food Chain Island. There's a few others. But the premise for Hyperstar Run reads as follows. Crashing onto the couch, you grab the well-worn controller and load your latest save. This is it, the final level. With only 4 runs left to escape the Hyperstar space base and beat the game, you better get moving. So I like this this card here with the start button. That's nice and thematic. It says, you finally secured the replicator drive from the Hyperstar space base, but dangerous aliens are closing in fast. It's time to run. So press the start button, and this is your character, and you're trying to run through a level. This is reminiscent of old 2D platformer games. So think Mario, Sonic, maybe Metroid, things like that. And so we'll be assembling a level, and it'll just be a line of cards. And you're going to take your main character here, and you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 on these corners, and you're just going to you're trying to run all the way through the level. And if you get past the last card, you've won. But if you fail to get past the card for one reason or another, which we'll get into, you start the run over and you swap from 1 to 2. So you've got 4 attempts really. So this is your tracker for where you are and what attempt you're on. And if you don't make it out at the end of the 4th run, then you've lost. But if you make it out, then you immediately win. So we'll come back to these 2 cards in a minute, but the rest of these, you can see in the top left corner, there are 3 different symbols that are also in 3 colors, and that's just a 1-to-1. There's 1 color per symbol. So there's these pink shields, yellow reticles, and blue arrows. And think of those symbols as buttons on a controller. Those are the 3 buttons that you can press. So you'll have some of these cards in your hand, and let's say we have this card here, and our character is above this card. In order to pass this card, which we're trying to pass all the cards, there are 2 enemies on it, and each one has a couple of button icons above it. In order to pass the card, you must press the buttons above one of the alien enemies, so you must defeat it. So kind of think of them as being in your way because you're running from left to right, and just imagine Mario having to hop on one of their heads in order to get past them. So in order to get past this one, you need I'm just going to use the colors instead of the symbols, but a yellow and a blue. This one you need a yellow and a pink. So you need to discard appropriate cards from your hand with those symbols in the top left corner to simulate pressing those buttons, and then you've defeated the enemy and you can move to the next card. And so we'll put that back here, put put this over here for now. And so there are 6 cards like this at the top. You can kind of look at the symmetries, but there's 2 pinks, 2 yellows, 2 blues. Button-wise, everything's very balanced and symmetrical across the different colors and the buttons you need to press in order to get past the enemies on those cards. And then there are these cards down here, which work the same way, but these all have a pink line running across the bottom, these have a yellow line running across the top, and these have a blue line running across the middle. And these represent combos you can get. So if these cards are ever sequential, it doesn't have to be all 3, but any 2 of a matching color with the line that lines up, then you can combo between them. So you can defeat one enemy on this card, for example, to get past it, or this enemy, if you defeat this one, then you are getting onto this combo line. And so this example, this is the pink combo line, and you have to press the pink button twice to get onto that line, and that will always be the case. On this yellow line, you must always press 2 yellow buttons to get onto the line, and the same for blue. Now, once you are on the line, you advance to the next card. If the next card also has this line, you don't need to defeat any of the enemies on the card. You can just press the single button that's on that line to advance to the next one. So it's more efficient to be on the line if possible. But again, that only works if you have the same color cards that are sequential to each other. And we'll talk more about how or why that might happen in a moment. Finally, you've also got these 2 cards over here. These always start in your hand. These are your 2 equipment cards. You've got a short-range teleporter and a gravity inverter. The benefit of these cards is each of them has 2 buttons on it. So this one has a pink shield and a blue arrow. This one has a pink shield and a yellow reticle. So to get past, this enemy, for example, you need a yellow and a pink. Instead of spending a yellow card and a pink card, you can spend just this one card, press both buttons at the same time. So it's a little bit more efficient if you can manage to use those cards. And those just start in your hand every time, so those are nice. Now, another note on the layout of these cards, besides the 3 button types that I've talked about, you'll notice on these 6 cards, you may see a button with a white, or I guess a gray asterisk in it. That represents a wild. That just means any button of any type. So in order to keep going on this combo line, just press any 1 button. Or in order to defeat this enemy, press any 3 buttons. So there's a handful of those out there. Now the last thing I want to talk about on the layout of the cards is at the bottom, each card has a special ability. You can essentially deactivate a card in your hand to use the ability of the card that you're currently occupying with your runner here. So these cards will generally allow you to do things like reveal future cards in the level or swap places of cards. So when we're talking about these combo lines, for example, and trying to, you can only utilize them if they're in order. Some of these different abilities will let you swap cards around and start moving them so you can kind of build these combos. So I'll show you an example in a moment. It'll make a little bit more sense, but that's what the bottom of the card is. And then these 3 cards here have no ability. They all say ability offline, localized, threat tolerance exceeded. So that's just to say that there's 3 cards in the deck of 15 that do not have an ability. So let's jump now to setup, and I think this will make a little bit more sense. So give me a second to shuffle these up and show you a few things. All right, so this is the setup for the tutorial mode of Hyperstar Run. We have our runner up here with the 1, because we're on our first run at the start of the game, face down, pointing to the first card. We have 9 cards in our line here, and then 5 cards in our hand, which include these 2 equipment cards. I said this was tutorial mode. There are 3 other modes. There is standard, hard, and expert mode. And to play those, your starting hand is still the same, but you can see there's 3 cards up here in the corner. Those are just out of the game. So I shuffled these face down, dealt 9 cards here, gave myself 3. The last 3 I didn't look at, they're just out of the game. To play on standard, hard, or expert, you just add 1 card to the line for each of those modes. So go from 9 in the tutorial to 10 cards in standard, 11 in hard, and 12 in expert. So besides the 2 equipment cards in our hand, we have a yellow button and 2 pink buttons, and I see I've got 1 of the pink combo lines and 1 of the yellow combo lines. And there are, again, 3 cards of each color combo line out in the deck somewhere, so there's probably a better chance of getting a blue combo than either a yellow or a pink because these are in my hand. But we'll go ahead and flip over the first card, and I'll just show you. This is not the playthrough, this is just sort of walking you through the different steps here. So there is a blue combo line on this first card. There is an ability we can choose to use as well, and then to get past this card, we either need to press 3 of anything, because these are the wilds, or 2 blue to get past the card. Had we already been on a combo line, then you only need to press 1 of any button to advance. So just for demonstration purposes, let's say we just want to press 3 of any button to get past this enemy here. I can press, these 2, and they go in a discard pile, and then it's it's any button, it's wild. So we'll press one of these pinks. Since I've got a yellow and 2 pinks, let's press a pink. And now we've pressed 3 buttons. So we flip over the next card and we advance our runner like this. Okay, so now we're on this card. There's 2 enemies to get past, and again, there's an ability. So to get past this enemy, there's a yellow and a blue. This one has a yellow and a pink. And let's get past this yellow and pink one. So I'm going to spend a pink button from my hand here from the top left corner. And then I have a yellow, but maybe I want to hold on to this card. So you also have this option for any card that you have already passed, any card that is left of your runner. You may use that button, but it's only one time per run. So we're going to take this card and slide it down like this to show that we have pressed that button. So we use the pink from playing this card and then the yellow from this card. I got to press that button. So we've pressed both buttons. So we advance, flip the next card, see what it says. So there's, again, 2 enemies, and then this one needs a yellow-blue, this one needs yellow-pink. And let me demonstrate the abilities now. So the ability on this one says, choose any card in the level, flip it face up, and swap it with a face-up card from your hand or discard pile. So if I want to use an ability, I can only use the ability of the card that I'm currently occupying with my runner. These other cards that I've already passed, I cannot go back and use those abilities now. I can only use this card's ability. So if I want to use it, the cost is I have to take a card from my hand and flip it over. You can only have one flipped over card in your hand at any time. Now, say just for example, I had used an ability on this previous card and I had flipped over this card in my hand, right? When I go to the next card, if I want to use an ability again, because I can only have one face down card in my hand at a time, instead of flipping a card over, I then discard my face down card and it just goes to my discard pile, stays face down like that. And that's relevant because if we read this ability again, it says, choose any card in the level. So those are these cards here. Flip it face up and swap it with a face up card from your hand or discard pile. So this card was a piece of equipment, so you wouldn't be able to swap that. But if I had done this instead, for example, I would not be able to flip a card from the level and swap it with this one because it's face down, but I could swap it with this one, for example. So let's put that into action. So it says choose any card in the level, flip it face up. Let's just, I don't know, pick this one. Okay, so I flip this one face up. Now we can swap it with a face up card from my hand or discard pile. And then for any various reasons, you may want to pick one card over another to swap from. Perhaps you want this button and you've got extras of the button that you currently have. Maybe this one has a combo on it and you'd like that combo to combo with another card that's already out there. Or maybe a card in your hand has an ability that you'd really like to use, so you've got to get that ability onto the level here so that when you get to that card, you can use it. So just for example's sake, this has a pink button. These buttons are both pink. We'll say that I really want this one. Maybe I think this will give me a better chance of getting a yellow combo with either of these cards. So I go ahead and I swap them. So now I've used this ability. Each ability, you may use it only one time per turn. So like until this guy advances, I cannot use this ability again. It would be possible on the same run if somehow I move here and this lets me say swap cards or something, or I don't know, maybe, let me just set something crazy up here. Maybe I go to the next card and this says swap any other 2 cards. And so maybe I go like this, I make my combo line here, and then this one that I've already used, if I get back to it, I can use it again now because it's like a new turn within the same round. But you just can't use, I know I'm moving cards all over the place. Now that I've used this ability, I can't continue to repeat to use it again and again and again. Now, one more note about these abilities that let you swap cards. When you swap cards, the pressed or unpressed attribute of the card remains with the position. So let's say I had a card that let me swap these 2. Just for example, this one is pressed and this one is unpressed. So when I swap them, the first card still remains pressed and this later card still remains unpressed. Let's finish out this quick example. To get past this card, I either need a yellow and a pink or a yellow and a blue. So I'm going to spend this yellow and press this blue, and I advance. And now I don't have a way to get past this card. I have one card in my hand, it's face down, so I can't really use it. I could spend it to use the ability. I mean, we might as well, just as an example, so this ability is flip the leftmost face down card in the level. You may swap it with your current level card. So I have a face down card in my hand. I'm going to spend it to use this ability. Flip the leftmost face down card in the level. You may swap it with your current level card. And sure, let's say for whatever reason, I want to swap it, right? Now, this yellow combo line and this blue combo line are different colors and they don't line up. So you cannot combo from a yellow to a blue. It's got to be the same color. So there's no real advantage to putting those two next to each other. But now I'm out of cards. I have nothing in my hand. I can only press one button. It's a single blue, and that's not enough for me to advance my card at all. So this would be the end of this round. So when the round ends, and let me fictionalize this a little bit. Let me say that I had, let's say I still had one card in my hand, but it was face down. So when you reset for the next run, if you have a face down card in your hand, which you can only have at max one, you flip it face up now. Then you take your discard pile back. Now I've still got a face down card here. That one does not get flipped back up, so that one's kind of permanently flipped, unless at the end of the next run it is still in my hand, and then I can flip it back over. So that's kind of important to know. Then you take the leftmost card from the level and add it to your hand. So your hand is going to get larger each round, but then whatever you were doing, if you were using the first card's ability or if you were using it as to press a button, you're no longer going to be able to do that in the same way. Then all the pressed cards in the level get reset, so they're all unpressed. Everything that's face up stays face up. The face down ones stay face down. And now you're going to rotate this from round 1 to round 2 and start it back over at the beginning. And then you keep going following the same rules. So if at any point you advance all the way past the end, then you win. If you are already on your 4th run and you haven't been able to complete it, there is no reset. You've then lost the game. All right, so hopefully that made some sense. So now I'm going to move in the second half of the video. I'm going to shuffle up all these cards, set up the tutorial, and play my way through it. So here we go. Okay, so I'm set up now to play the tutorial run through of Hyperstar Run. The cards in my hand, I've got 2 of these blue combo cards, so there's only 3 in total. So even if I find a blue combo card out here, unless I can get one of these into the level, I'm not going to be able to achieve a blue combo. So that's good to know. And then I've got one of the yellow combos. So there's at most going to be 2 of those out there. Again, 3 cards are discarded. I don't know what they are. So if I'm trying to get combos, pink might be the way to go. And one of the cards in my hand is one of the ones that has no ability. So at least there's one less opportunity to have a no ability card out there. But let's flip over the first card in this first round and get started. So no combo here. I either need to press yellow blue or blue pink to get past this card, and the ability says swap any 2 cards in the level other than your current level card. Well, that's not going to do anything for me now, so let's just get past this card for now. Now it's very nice that my starting hand I got 1 blue, 1 yellow, and 1 pink, plus my 2 equipment cards. So I can spend this equipment card, a blue and a pink, right here for this blue and pink to get past this card. Let's get past it, flip over the next one. Okay, and now this pink button is now available for me to press as well. Again, no combo line on this second card. The ability says choose any card in the level, flip it face up, and swap it with a face up card from your hand or discard pile. I mean, that might be useful, but it's a little early in the game to do that because I don't know where it would make sense to put one of these cards. Like if we came across a yellow combo card, it might be nice to put the second yellow one next to it, but I don't know where I might do that yet. So let's get past this card. Again, this equipment has a yellow and a pink, and a yellow and pink will get us past that enemy. So I discard this card, advance 1, and flip this over. All right, pink combo line on this one. We don't know if that'll get us pink combo here or not. And this one has no ability offline. So I will get onto the combo line, not because I expect that there's another pink combo behind it, but this costs 2 pink to get on the line, or it's 3 wilds to get past without getting on the line. And I'd rather just spend fewer resources since I can. So I'm going to use 1 pink from my hand, and the other pink will be used by pressing this button here. So I'm now on the combo line. Let's flip it over. If there's another pink combo, that'd be great. Oh, and there is. Wow. Okay, that was very lucky. So normally to get past this card, you either need to spend 2 pink to get on the combo line, or spend a yellow and a blue to just get past that enemy in advance. But instead, I can spend just a yellow because I'm already on the combo line. So that's really nice. Let's just read the ability before I keep going. So this card says I can swap any 2 cards in the level other than your current level card. So that means not this one. Oh, and that could be really nice. Let's do that. Watch this. This will be fun. So I'm going to flip this card over. No, I'm going to flip this card over to use this card's ability. Swap any 2 cards in the level other than your current card. Well, I'm going to swap these 2. and that'll keep this combo going, which is pretty nice. So now I'll spend this yellow button, since I'm on the combo line, to advance. Now this one has, again, no ability, so I just press a blue since I'm already on the combo line to advance one time again. I'm going to press this blue here and advance. And this is a yellow combo card. So my pink combo has ended. This one also has no ability. And so to advance past this card, I must press 3 wilds or 2 yellow. And it just so happens there are 2 yellow here that are unpressed. So let's press 1, 2. This gets me onto the yellow combo line, though I don't expect to find a yellow combo card here. Oh, and there is, though. That's unbelievable. I am having an incredible run. I've played this game a bunch of times. This is my best run. So the ability on this one is choose any card in the level, flip it face up if needed. So like this one, I could flip it face up and swap it with your current level card. I don't think I want to do any swapping because like these double combos back to back here are just really nice the way that those turned out. Now, since I'm on a level card already, normally you'd have to spend 3 wilds to get past this or 2 yellows to get on the combo line, but I got on the combo line last time, so I only need to spend 1 wild to get past, and I have 1 blue right here. So let's press it and advance again. I've never gotten this far on my first run. And now the ability on this one is use any ability from a face-up card in your hand or discard pile. So I could activate that by then putting this face-down card from my hand into the discard pile, but I don't think I really want to do that. So I've had an incredible first run. Let's call it there. I'm out of cards to play, and I don't have enough buttons to press to get past this card. I've only got 1 button left. It's this pink one, and that's I need a pink to get past either of these, but then I also need a yellow or a blue, and you cannot press the card that you are currently on. So that's going to be it for the first run. So I have 1 face-down card in my hand. I flip it face up again. Then I retrieve the rest of my discard pile, not flipping any cards. So if there are any face down cards there, they would remain face down. Then I take the first card from the level, add it to my hand, reset all the buttons in the level so that none of them are pressed. And I take my runners, set them to 2 now, and send them back to the first card in the level. So now we are on the second round. So I'm looking at the ability on this card, and it says choose any card in the level, flip it face up, and swap it with a face-up card from your hand or discard pile. And I think I am going to use that ability. So I'm going to flip over my short-range teleporter to pay for the ability, and then choose any card in the level, flip it face up, let's take this one, and swap it with a face-up card from your hand or discard pile. I'm going to swap it with this one to get 1 more yellow combo card out here into the level. And then if I can get them all together, that'll be really efficient for trying to get through this run. So now I've used the ability, now I've got to get off this card. So I'm going to pay this gravity inverter with a yellow and a pink to get past this enemy, advance, and now we've got to flip this one over. And depending on what it is, I might be in trouble, because it was kind of hard to plan around that invisible card. But now we at least see all the cards in the run, so we have a lot of information to try and strategize. Now I need to get past this card, either a pink and a blue or a pink and a yellow. I have no blue in my hand and only 1 blue to press here, and I think I'm going to want that blue later, so I probably want to do yellow and pink to get past this card. But let's check the ability before I do that. The ability says flip 1 face down card in the level. I don't want to spend this into my discard pile to flip a card because they're all already flip face up, so there's really no reason to do that. So let's spend a pink and a yellow from my hand to advance to this card. Now I want to get on this combo line, and so to do that I spend 2 pink and advance. Oh, I'm sorry though, but before I do that, let's take these back. I want to use this ability. Swap any 2 cards in the level other than your current level card. So this face down card is going to go into my discard face down. So it's I'm not going to see that face up next round, maybe in round 4 if I'm lucky. But use the ability, swap any 2 cards in the level other than your current level card. I want to swap these so I can get those 3 yellow combos. That's pretty amazing. Now I'll spend these 2 pink cards from my hand to advance. And now on the combo line, just press a blue button and advance. I need to get on the yellow combo line now, which is going to cost me 2 yellows. So I'll depress these 2. Now this one is going to take a while to get past. And I see later I'm going to need probably a blue, pink, and a blue. Blue, pink, blue. So let's use this as the wild. Press it. I'm on the combo line. Advance. Now I need a blue to advance. Let's press this one. And now I need either a blue and a pink or a yellow and a pink. So I've got a blue and a pink here. I press them both, advance, and that's it. I've completed the run. So that went really well. That was like a record for me on the tutorial. That was pretty cool. But again, for greater difficulty, you add 1, 2, or 3 more cards to the run. So hopefully now you have some idea of what that might look like and what the challenge of that might be. And then I like this as well. Again, this is a demo copy, so this is subject to change. But in this demo copy, there are 4 achievements in this game, which just really fits in with the whole video game theme to me, which is nice. And so there's 1 achievement for each difficulty level. So if you're playing the tutorial, the achievement is called Button Masher, and it says beat a tutorial difficulty game that has 3 consecutive level cards with 3 wild costs in the level. So I actually just did that. This has 3 wilds, this has 3 wilds, and this has 3 wilds, and they're consecutive. So in playing through the tutorial and beating it with 3 of those in a row, I have achieved the Button Masher achievement. So that's pretty cool. The next achievement is called Well Equipped. It says beat a standard difficulty game with at least 1 equipment card remaining in hand. So that means when you finish the game, you need to have either this gravity inverter or this short-range teleporter still in your hand when you complete the level. So that could be difficult. The third achievement is Speedrunner. Beat a hard difficulty game using no more than 3 runs. So typically you would have 4 runs to get through. And the fourth achievement is Combo Pro. Beat an expert difficulty game with 3 or more unpressed cards remaining in the level, including the final card passed. So right now in this tutorial, I've only got 1 unpressed card. You would need 3 on expert mode. So yeah, I can definitely see that being a challenge. And then if you do all the achievements, then you've 100%ed the game. So good for you. But this is Hyperstar Run. Again, this is going to Kickstarter in January of 2025. And if you're watching this later, then you can probably just go to Button Shy's website and order it, or you can get it from a future Kickstarter campaign. They do about 1 a month. So you've got options. But I like this one. I'm generally a fan of the Simply Solo series, and this one's not an exception. It doesn't disappoint. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and 100% it. I want to get all of those achievements, and at least I've got 1 of them now. So if you've got any questions on Hyperstar Run, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you. And just a reminder, if you love this sweet, sweet neoprene playmat with the Table for One logo on it, you can purchase that below as well. But I think that's all I've got for this video. So if you're still here and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, or leaving me a comment to let me know what you think, so that I know to make more of the same type of content. And if you like these Button Shy games, I've got another Button Shy video coming a week from today, so you can look forward to that. But that's it for this episode of Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I will see you in the next video.